Well, there's all kinds of good news coming out. People getting paid, new cars coming out for the 2022 season being unveiled. And I don't know if it is a coincidence that McLaren decides to announce Norris's nice deal extension. Now, how nice this deal is, we don't know. I didn't see any money figures in the F1 report, but he is going to be extended out to 2025. Now, with that being said, has Norris delivered such a promising perspective or hope for McLaren that this contract would be very lucrative for them? It's 2022. That means another 3 seasons. Ricardo, I believe his contract is till 2023. So will this combination yield for McLaren to hopefully make a championship? Because let's just be real, at the end of the day, that's what they want. Yes, do they want more podiums throughout the season? Of course they do. They want more constructor points, driver points, all that good stuff. Yes, they do want to keep improving and moving up through the grid and through the field to at least be one of those top 3, top 5 teams toward the end of the season, which I think from 2020 to 2021, I think they had a considerable jump, especially with Norris and then Ricardo coming. So with this combination of the two, I think McLaren is on the right track. Now, have they got a combination that will get them that championship? I don't know. I think a lot of that is going to rely on the team, the engineers, the improvement of the car. And I also think it is very, very possible, as I said in other videos, that the fact that so much has changed going into the season with the new car, with new regulations, with tires, all this other stuff, that there's an opportunity for drivers' natural talent and ability to adapt to change, to be that catalyst to change up the field. All right. Necessarily just because you do have an awesome driver, like aside from Lewis Hamilton, like he's a talented ass driver regardless of what he's in, period. I mean, we've seen plenty of times he could be penalized, put to the back of the field, work his way up. You still have certain drivers that are in cars that are still competitive to that level but cannot manage to drive through a field. They are so-called front runners. Norris has shown some ability to do that, but we saw that he made a very critical error in a race. And yes, it was some very challenging things going on there with the rain, with trying to decide if the tires, if we were going to switch from damn intermediates to damn, wets to damn, it just was very funny. It was a very funny day with some of the track having rain, some of the track not having rain. And Norris made a very critical decision that took him out of winning that race and damn near took him to last place. So I wish he would have came in. I think he was so headstrong. It took some balls to make that decision. Though I give him major credit for that. It took some balls to try to stick to your own decision and say, screw your engineer, screw your team. I'm not coming in. I'm not giving this shit up. I can make it happen. And I think a driver needs that in order to be competitive. But there comes a time when a driver needs to analyze like, yo, will my skills allow me to go in the pits, take a shortcoming, and then come back and still get what I deserve to get in this race? And I think to some degree it showed that he believed in himself, but not enough to do what needed to really be done, which was go into the box, change the tires, and then come out in the race and do what you have been doing. So with that being said, I think they have a great young talent in Norris. I like his character thus far, his personality thus far. I like his competitive spirit. I think the combination of him and Ricardo is something that definitely may be working right now, aside from him and Sainz. I think that that relationship took a little turn, but not for the worse. I think it's completely minimal. I think they're fine. But Ricardo is the other piece of this element. With him being able to leave in 2023, will he? We've seen Ricardo go from Red Bull to Renault, which was a horrible decision in my opinion. I think it was a horrible decision. I think honestly it was a good money bag grab. I think he grabbed a good bag because they paid him a good amount of money to come there. I think that was worth it. If you can get that bag, get that bag. And then he inevitably ended up with a pretty good team at McLaren, especially with a good teammate in Norris. I think honestly we'll have to see if Ricardo is going to have some loyalty long term with McLaren and not move around if another team opens up a door like Ferrari. Possibly, we don't know what's going to come of this Russell situation. Like, we like the move because we think it's a better partnership, like in theory, than Bottas, because Bottas couldn't defend for shit. I mean, Valtteri was whack as hell to me. I think Russell's a better competitive spirit. I don't think he'll give up the defense as much as Bottas didn't give any defense. So I think that's something to be seen. But if teams start opening up doors, will Ricciardo bounce from McLaren to take another opportunity? That's something that they need to consider. Right now, they have a decent combination. So I think this contract situation is good. He's only 22 years old. Norris, he signed a long-term deal on the eve of the last year Monaco's Grand Prix, you know, whatever that may mean for you. But other than that, I firmly do think that this is good. I want to congratulate Norris for getting that contract extension with a very solid team, and I hope that McLaren has more success. They were a team that I watched in 2021, and I think I favored them as well. Norris is one of my favorite drivers that I like to watch, along with several other drivers. So we'll see what happens. I definitely want to see what their car is going to look like. So if you're interested in some of those, I will be doing the unveilings live and or after the lives are posted. So join me here for those as well as many other topics that we'll talk about. So get down in the comment section. Tell me what you think about this contract deal. Do you think the combination between Norris and Ricciardo is definitely going to work and have a good ingredients for McLaren to grab a championship within these next 2 years? Because Ricciardo is up in 2023, although Norris has extended to 2025. So we have another 3 years, right, for Norris. We have another year for Ricciardo. So will they make that happen between 2022 and 2023 before they end up in a decision where they have to decide what their running mates are going to be? Let me know. You know what I say? Just build it. Peace.